pretty good turnout. Again, thank you all for joining us today. My name is Charlotte Christian, and I'm a Deputy Project Manager with Griffin & Strong PC. So we will go ahead and get started. All right. So the City of Fayetteville and Fayetteville PWC has partnered with Griffin & Strong, a law and public policy consulting firm based in Atlanta, Georgia, to conduct a disparity study and comprehensive analysis of the contracting process for the City of Fayetteville and the Fayetteville Public Works Commission. The study examines the participation by minority and women-owned businesses and local firms on PWC and city contracts. And the City of Fayetteville and Fayetteville PWC's intent is to render a diverse and equitable business environment that will benefit all of its vendors in the public contracting opportunities are equally available to all businesses. So what is a disparity study? A disparity study is has an objective, and it is an objective research tool that determines whether or not a government agency has actively or passively discriminated against certain groups due to their race or gender. Discrimination, which may be the current effects of past discrimination, is determined through a thorough quantitative, so statistical, and qualitative anecdotal analysis. And we gather this evidence in a variety of different ways, as well as an examination of the current policies and procedures. And the findings of these studies will result in recommendations by our study team to remedy any discrimination or disparities found. The recommendations, if accepted, are intended to be implemented as policy. So here today, you guys are all part of this policy-making practice as we gather this anecdotal evidence of your public comments. So, Griffin & Strong PC has been charged with reviewing the City of Fayetteville's and Fayetteville's PWC's contracting processes policy, as I said, analyzing pertinent statistical data, collecting and analyzing anecdotal evidence, and presenting the findings and recommendations of the study. We also assist in this, assisting in this endeavor is Fayetteville-based business H4 Enterprises, who's engaged in some of the anecdotal interviews and outreach. To date, our team has gathered extensive anecdotal evidence throughout the community via informational meetings, organizational interviews, anecdotal interviews, focus groups, email, social media, and telephone comments. These public hearings that you're in right now are a crucial portion of our analysis, and we thank you for your participation. The purpose of this hearing is to get candid testimony about your experiences, both positive and negative, either doing business or attempting to do business with the City of Fayetteville and Fayetteville PWC. So our disparity studies is a multiple step process. We have, ranging from legal analysis or review of those policies and procedures, collecting data and doing relevant market analysis and private sector analysis, looking at the utilization threshold of different areas to determine a relevant geographic market, and then also looking at an availability analysis of what firms are willing and able to participate and to contract with Fayetteville and Fayetteville PWC. We also then, after getting all of that statistical information or in the process, we also get all of this anecdotal information to help us understand the reasonings and the happenings behind these statistical patterns that we might observe. So we're looking for comments that might tell us more about why you may have done business with the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC, or why you might have chosen not to. So one question is why we do disparity studies and how we conduct them. So basically, looking back into the 1980s and 1990s, there were a number of important cases that basically the results were that strict scrutiny for race-based programs needed to be applied, and intermediate scrutiny needed to be applied for gender-based programs. So in order for the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC to have race-based or gender-based programs, we have to first look at the factual evidence that exist, which is why we conduct the study. And then our methodology is dictated by the result of that case law. And then we provide narrowly tailored recommendations to remedy, and we have to avoid the over-under inclusion of particular groups, basically identifying who has faced discrimination and then providing those narrowly tailored recommendations to fix those things. And we provide them in two ways, one being race and gender conscious and one being race and gender neutral recommendations and remedies. So there's a couple of ways that you can get involved. I assume you've all been here today because you've either gotten an email from us or you've heard something promoted on the radio or gotten it in an email from the lovely folks over at the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC. And in that, there's a lot of other information you might have received. One being that we have a survey out, and it's a survey for our business owners. I will drop the link in the chat. I've already dropped it there once, but I'll keep posting it throughout as people come in and out. But we have the FayettevilleDisparityStudy.com as a link to our survey for business owners. That also includes our email addresses. So there's two email addresses where you can send public comment. One is the FayettevilleStudy@gspclaw.com. And the other one is FayettevillePWC@gspclaw.com. If you have comments about both, you can send one email to one of them and just say, these are my comments about the city and these are my comments about PWC, or you can separate them into different emails. Either way, we are taking all of that evidence into account. And finally, a number of you may have been contacted already for an interview. We are conducting virtual anecdotal interviews and then also virtual focus groups. So if you do receive an email or a call from us or our partners over at H4, if you would participate in an interview or a focus group, that would help us so much with collecting this anecdotal evidence. Okay. Finally, we're getting to the reason you are all here today, and that is the virtual public hearing. So the purpose of this public hearing is to get candid testimony about your experiences, both positive and negative, of either doing business or attempting to do business with the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville Public Works Commission. We do have a disclaimer that everything said during this hearing will be available for public record. This hearing is being recorded, but Griffin & Strong's final comments and report will not include your names, your business names, or any other affiliation of individuals who give testimony. That is going to be the public study that we're going to publish to those folks. And then in this process, we're not soliciting questions, but we are receiving or asking for comments only. And we will not be responding to questions or commentary other than to gain additional clarifying information. So I might ask some follow-up comments. And then public comments, as you go through, while you're providing your comments, please start by stating your name and the name of your business for the record. And if you could also provide your location, where you're based, whether that be in Fayetteville or in Charlotte or somewhere else, that would help us out a lot as well. And then this hearing is being presided over by Griffin & Strong PC, as I mentioned, and not the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC, even though we've been contracted by them. We are not soliciting questions, only commentary, and we're not responding to commentary other than to get clarifying questions. But there may be members of the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC staff present, but your comments should not be directed towards them as they're here to listen but not respond. So in a moment, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to open the floor for comment. We're inviting volunteers to share their experiences and opinions. If you'd like to comment, please use the raise your hand function, or you can just wave your hand at me if you're on camera. If you're on your phone and can't find a raise hand function, once we've gone through everyone who has raised their hand, I'll open the floor again, asking for anyone who has not been able to speak thus far. Again, we're going to ask you to state your name, your company name, and where you're located before giving testimony. And we also ask that all participants be treated with courtesy and respect and refrain from interruptions and any harsh language. So after initial introductions, please remind us of your name and company before providing testimony, so if you have secondary comments. So with that, thank you so much for your patience. I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to open the floor for comments. So does anyone have any comments about Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC and your experiences in the contracting process? All right, Gordon.
Yes, my name is Gordon Johnson. I'm president of Gordon Johnson Architecture in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I've done work with the city of Fayetteville now for approximately 20 years and PWC, and have enjoyed that working relationship. We also enjoy the work efforts by the city of Fayetteville PWC in soliciting minority businesses, and have worked with them throughout those same years in doing so.
Great, thank you. I saw someone else's hand up and I think it went away. BJ, do you have any comments?
Yes, my name is BJ Lanier with Lanier Construction Company, and we're out of Snow Hill, North Carolina. And I just wanted to say that I do have a meeting to go, so I'm not going to be able to stay for the entire hearing here, but I just wanted to give my account of my experience with the city of Fayetteville. I've been working with the company for, I guess, around 10 years or a little more than 10 years. And my family's been in business. And for over 10 years, we had a really good relationship with the city of Fayetteville. And we've worked there for quite some time. And as far as the solicitation and letting us know when opportunities are available to bid, we've had a very good experience with them. And I just wanted to just say that. And yeah, that's it. So I appreciate everything.
Okay, well, thank you, BJ. Gregory Scott.
Hi, I'm Gregory Scott. I'm from Stewart Cooper Newell Architects. I've been working with the city of Fayetteville for the past 7 years. Stewart Cooper Newell has been working with Fayetteville for maybe about 20 plus years. We've done multiple fire departments and city hall renovations and other smaller government projects with the city. And we've had great experiences so far, especially in our field where, again, we're doing construction. And it is very challenging for public bids and so forth, but the city has always provided exemplary support.
Great, and can you remind me where you're based again?
Gastonia, North Carolina.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, does anyone else have something to say? We're open to hearing all experiences, positive or negative, and any suggestions you might have for the city of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC for maybe revising their processes.
Yes, my name is Donald Moore from Alpha Builders and Consultants Inc. out of Hope Mills, North Carolina. I've had experience working with Fayetteville for about 10 years, and I've had a great experience working with them with minority as a minority contractor, and I'd like to give kudos to them for giving me the opportunity.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any difference they've noticed between their experiences with the city of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC? Any recommendations for either? Yes, Wanda, do you have any recommendations or comments?
Yes, my comment is I would love to serve on one of the focus groups to kind of help speak to other groups and to share some things that I've noticed, dealing with different cities and states. I am in Edenton, North Carolina. I'm a project management company, but I'd be more than happy to serve in a focus group or help you all with the process. I think it's amazing that you're doing this to make sure that not only are you in compliant, but you want to help us grow. So I think that's great, and I'm excited about the opportunity to work with you.
Wonderful. Well, we will reach out to you afterwards. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
To those of you who have spoken thus far and have had positive comments about PWC in the city of Fayetteville, can you provide any specific examples of what has gone well thus far? That sort of information can be really helpful for us in knowing what policies they should definitely continue in the future. Oh, Brandon, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Brandon McDonald with Elite Concrete Finishing. And actually, I'm actually doing work for the city of Fayetteville right now as we speak on the job site, so I won't be here long. But I'm gonna tell you, it's been a great opportunity working with the city of Fayetteville. I have nothing bad to say. Everybody is, nice, friendly. I mean, they get you the resources that you need. So I just continue to hope to move forward in 22 and 2023. We'll see if we can do some more. Thank you.
Absolutely. Beyond being available with those resources, is there anything specific that, you said they were friendly, anything else that are policies you feel are really helpful?
Actually, as me working with different contractors, I really feel like what they're doing now is real helpful. Far as, I'm just going to use me as, I do a lot of concrete work. So far as getting the concrete scheduled, any materials I need, I normally just pick up a phone call and normally just, like snap of a hand, they don't try to hold us back or nothing. So actually, I'm real satisfied.
Great. And Brandon, where are you located again?
I'm located in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the floor is open. Any other comments and thoughts? We've got the full hour here.
What I found useful with Fayetteville is that they have assigned construction or project managers to help out with projects. So therefore, when me as a technical professional have questions, we have somebody that we can relate to that knows the industry and can help us to solve problems. So that is a plus when compared to, again, other towns and cities.
That is helpful to know. Is that the same between Fayetteville PWC and the city of Fayetteville? Have you worked for both?
This is the city of Fayetteville.
Okay. Have you worked with PWC yet, or was it just the city of Fayetteville?
Just the city of Fayetteville. We've interacted, but not as an owner of a project.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy, go ahead.
Hi, I just had a question. Are there many opportunities that come up for consulting work? Or I'm an HR training facilitator, and I do a lot of business coaching. But a lot of, I notice when we do come to conferences, I get the email, but it's not a lot that pertains to any type of work. Are there many opportunities with either the City of Fayetteville or PWC?
Sure. So we are not currently soliciting any comments, and Griffin and Strong isn't the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC, but there are people you can reach out to on their website because I can answer those questions for you.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I was going to give it a try. Thanks.
That's okay. Have you tried to work with the City of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC before in the past?
No, because I started just recently, I updated my commodity codes, but a lot of cities, they don't really narrow it down. If you're in the system as a vendor or you're a hub vendor or, minority business owner, you get the emails regardless. So you kind of have to cipher through to see. And I've been sitting on a lot of calls, like it's nothing here for me. It's a lot of construction, but it's not a lot of, anyone that needs consulting or just training facilitators or anything like that. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I can check.
Okay.
I mean, I can search.
Yeah, and last question for you, where is it that you're located?
Oh, I'm in Charlotte.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you for your comment. So the floor is open. Comments, critiques, things that you've noticed differently that function differently between PWC or the city, things that you would like to see done, or things that you're really happy are already happening. Any of those things would be very helpful to us.
Charlotte, PWC puts out a purchasing notification to those who sign up, which is great to use and great to see. And you can see what opportunities are out there for vendors like myself. If the city of Fayetteville did the same thing, it would be even more helpful. So that's something I could recommend to the city of Fayetteville to kind of model themselves after what PWC is doing.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have you worked with both the city of Fayetteville and Fayetteville PWC before, or just the city of Fayetteville?
Yes, I've worked for both.
Okay.
And continue to work for both, yes.
Great. Are there any other differences that you notice in kind of the day-to-day practices between the two?
No, they work very similar as far as their practices and minority policies, and we find that helpful for us. So we don't have to know two different systems, but that vendor solicitation program is great that PWC has by putting out regular notices to people like myself who might be interested in bidding opportunities.
Okay, well, great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So as I mentioned, we've also got public or focus groups and interviews going on, but we actively have the survey of business owners live, and we have the website that allows for comment as well. So I will send that in the chat once again. But we're also here, I'm here for any comments. The folks last night talked a little bit more, but we are completely open and available. I noticed some familiar faces from last night too, some vendors, or names rather than faces. For those of you that might not have comments, you can also take this opportunity to introduce yourself to everyone else here. Just introduce yourself, your name, your firm, the type of work you do, and where you're located, if you just want to go ahead and do that. Jim, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jim Mertz, and work for Bolton and Menk. We're a consulting engineering firm that we've been looking at Fayetteville. We're based out of Raleigh, by the way, and yeah, looking to work in Fayetteville. And to be honest, we look often for partnerships with women and minority-owned businesses. So I think this conversation is something that's very important for us to be a part of and see who's getting involved in the community. So I would echo a lot of the similar comments already made, is that Fayetteville seems like to be a very inclusive workspace. So, but mostly just taking in the presentation. So thank you for your time.
That's great. One question, Jim, have you tried to work with the city of Fayetteville or Fayetteville PWC in the past?
We've done some work. We did some work, landscape architecture and civil engineering for the transit station in Fayetteville.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves and their firm?
Yes, hello.
Hi, go ahead, David.
My name is David Cricky. I'm with EDTP LLC in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are a design build firm. Just opened up a new office in the Charlotte area. We're headquartered out of Marietta, Georgia. And we have submitted for one project with the city of Fayetteville so far, and we're waiting for a response. And our initial experience has been good.
Great. David, a follow-up question. What's been good about your initial experience thus far?
I wasn't originally involved in submitting the proposal, so I did not have an actual interaction with the city of Fayetteville. But from what I understand, speaking with my supervisor, that he did not have any negative experience with the city.
Gotcha. So did he say anything about like the submission process being smooth, or just general positive experience?
The one thing he did say was, not being able to submit the proposal electronically.
Okay.
It's much easier now to submit stuff electronically instead of having to send stuff, physically in. So
sure.
He wished that they were able to do that.
Okay, that's a helpful suggestion. Thank you. Chris, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Frank. I'm an architect with SFLA Architects here in Fayetteville. Sorry, it took me so long I couldn't figure out how to raise my hand. We're currently working on the senior center for the city of Fayetteville, and although it's taken a bit of a couple years to get through the project, it's finally out to bid. I've really enjoyed working with the staff of Fayetteville, and I mean, although staff members kind of come and go, current team works really well with us, and we have a good relationship with them. Hope to do some more work with the city.
That's great. Were there any processes in terms of, it sounds like this has been an ongoing thing, any processes that you found have been really helpful or that maybe could change for the better?
Some of the I don't mean to sound negative, but the project did kind of drag on for a couple of years, and it could have been due to COVID or some other mitigating factors. But this project started out as a joint venture with Fayetteville State, and they left the project, and so it's been kind of a long process. But once we got moving on it, things moved along pretty well. It's been a struggle working through online meetings and things like that. Obviously, it's not as good as in person, but I think it's all a learning process that we're all going through. But I do like the way we're able to submit projects for permit review or plan review electronically, and the staff has been, the review process has been very fast, in my opinion. It's often people like to complain about how long it takes to get reviews, but I don't know, the inspections team has been really, at the city, has been really efficient, and I'm glad to be seeing that happening, because that can often drag projects out.
Good. No, that's very helpful. Could you remind me, Chris, where your business is based out of?
It's SFLA Architects, and we have an office here in Fayetteville as well as Raleigh, but the projects we do all the local projects out of our Fayetteville office.
Gotcha. Thank you. Have you happened to work with, you had mentioned the city, have you worked with PWC as well, or just the city?
Our office probably has done work with the city and PWC for decades, but just my experience has been with the city only.
Okay. Do you know, because I know that, one of the things that we hear is like, oh, you know, my firm's worked for a long time, and we've seen different policies that sometimes are, that policy they had a couple years ago was the best, or I really like how they changed it now. Do you happen to know of any past policies that you think have either changed for the better, or you have heard, you know, used to be better? It's okay.
My memory gets shorter the older I get. So, I can't think of policies so much. You know, it's kind of a day-to-day relationship.
Sure.
Currently, like I said, you know, once the city started working electronically with submittals and our project submissions, and that's been a big help for a lot of people. Sometimes it's in the past, I know maybe 5-6 years ago, it was very difficult to get a hold of people by telephone. Like I said, we've all kind of gotten used to emails better, and the electronic versions of plan reviews have helped communications a lot. So I think that's probably the best thing the city has done, is worked on their communication protocols with their vendors.
Okay, great. Thank you. Does anyone else want to introduce themselves or have any comments to share? Again, because I know people have been coming in and out, going to add the survey back into the chat, as well as the study website. And if you are interested in joining any focus groups or have any comments, you can also reach out to our emails there as well. Okay, see a couple of names we haven't heard from yet. If you'd like to introduce yourselves. Okay, well, we will stay around. I will stay around if you have any additional comments and you would like to share them. You're welcome to hang back and share them with me. You can also, again, reach us through the FayettevilleDisparityStudy.com website, and you can find our 2 email addresses there, which you can also send for public comment. You might be reached out, you might receive a solicitation to participate in an interview or a focus group. And once again, we've got the link for the survey of business owners in the chat and available on our website. And we would very much love for you to fill that out because it would be super helpful, whether you've done business with the city or haven't. That information is really, really important to us. But if there are no other comments, again, I'll hang back, but we can go ahead and just conclude this public hearing. Thank you all so much for your time.